So we're going to go to 2 for controller. We're going to go to 1 for unit. Startup flash time, it was 1. I was messing with it a little bit, but it should be 5. So we can hit down arrow, and we'll hit the down arrow again. I'm going to change red revert to 6. 6-0. Okay. Alright, once we got 6 down here, we're going to hit escape, go back 1 menu, then we're going to go to phase timing plans, and it's going to be plan 1 no matter, because that's all we really need is just 1. And this is where you're going to put in your sheet times with the keypad here, and just use the arrow keys to go over where you need to go. So if I got a walk on 2 5 seconds, and a ped clear, say 7. So just go across, put all these in. Okay. So I'll make full-blown intersection here. I'm just gonna do 2 seconds, which is just usually a standard. If you mess up, just arrow off of it and go right back to it. So oops. So you're just going to basically be using these arrow keys here to maneuver around this screen, and using the keypad to put some times in. So I'm going to go ahead and put those in, and I'll be right back. Okay, once you got some times in there, hit escape to go back 1. And we're going to phase option plans 2, and I'm just going to hit enter. You can put 1 or whatever you want to do. So enabled phases are going to be everything, so 1 through 8. Non-actuated would be if you don't have any stop bar detection. So we'll say yes. So we'll use the yes key on 2 and 6. And I do believe if, yeah, yes and no, and plus or minus, they do the exact same thing. So go over, and go down here. Non-locking detection. Alright, so non-locking detection means if it says a 1 in there, that means that it doesn't lock the detector on. If it's blank, then it does lock the detector on. So we're going to tell it 2 and 6 is locking, so it should look like that. And in vehicle recall, yes or no keys. Need to go down to let's see here, enable all phases, yes. And we want 2 and 6 for entry and exit. And non-actuate, so if you don't have any stop bar loops, yes. And yes, 1 through 8, minimum vertical radio call and dual entry. So once we got that done, we need to go down here to dual entry, 2, 4, 6, 8. Hit the right keys here. Okay, so escape to go back 1. So escape again. We've got sequence here, so we're just going to check this out. Sequences is 1. This is your ring structure and the way it looks. That's just the default ring structure, which we're not going to mess with. But if you wanted to do something different, like this is a lagging left here because it flips the 2 into 1. So some of these are already pre-programmed, but we're just going to do 1. So phase startup, number 2. We're going to tell it phase not on, phase not on. Green, no walk. We're going to tell it plus to change it. So plus or minus to go up or down. So we're going to tell it phase green walk, and we're going to down to 6. And we hit the minus once, and it goes to green walk. Now we need to change these to PEDs. So these are phase not on, which we turned on 9 through 12 phases by telling it phase not on. So when it starts up, we'll actually run those as phase. Basically, think of it as a load switch assignment screen. So we're going to hit escape. Backup phase plans, backup prevention, not worried about that. So we got all the sequence config. If we had the detectors to go assign, we'd go in here, vehicle detector plans, plan 1, and we would assign all of our phasing and detectors here. So back her up one. What we do need to get into is the option 7 overlap. So just hit 7, and we're going to go into overlap parameters 1. 1 or enter will suffice. So it says enabled, and we're going to go down to type, and we're going to change this to FYA 4 section. I'm going to do it on all 3. So overlap 1 is 13 in the cabinet, and overlap 2 is 14, overlap 3 is 15, and overlap 4 is 16. So those are left turns 1, 3, 5, 7. Okay, so now we need to enable our included phase. So your included phase is the opposing phase. So 2, no, not 3. You hit the minus key if you make a mistake here. So 1, 2. This would be 4, not 34. So enter 4, enter. So let's see here. So this one here is 3. So that would be 15. So that would be 6. And you're hitting enter to go across. So 4 would be 8. Enter. If you mess up, hit enter again, it shifts, and then you can change it to whatever you want, hit enter again. So that one should be 8. Okay. And then your modifier phase is going to be your actual left turn. So 1, 3, 5, and 7. Okay, hit escape once you got all those in. For overlaps, you want to go to overlap timings, plan 1, enter, because on 1, 3, 5, and 7 we want a delay of 2 seconds. Otherwise what will happen is it will drop from red right back into the left turn, or flashing yellow. It won't have a delay. So we usually use 2 seconds under delay. So, okay, hit escape, escape. Okay, so we're going to go to 9. So, and then 1 for channels. This would be load switch assignment. Channel config 1. So it's telling you that it's a vehicle and the control source, which is the phasing. So phases, PEDs. So if you don't have a phase there, you can hit the plus or minus to go up or down. And so since we don't have anything there, we're just going to hit escape. There we go. I program a conflict monitor card, but it'll do it once you have a MMU hooked up. So we're going to go to, so now you hit escape again, and we'll go back to 2 here, advanced IO module. 1 for IO, this is where you turn your BIUs and MMUs and controller on or off. This is a small connector A ports there. So we got small connector A, MMU, BIU, 1 and 2, and detector rack BIU. But because we do not have this hooked to a cabinet and it is hooked to a laptop to just monitor it, I'm just going to hit hold down the minus key up, and it will eventually get to simulation. Once there, just okay, it takes a minute after you do simulation for it to let go because it's basically booting up. Alright, so I'm going to turn all these off because we don't need any of these on. Now if you hook this in the cabinet, you'll turn each one on individually. So just hold on the minus key here until it gets to none. Okay, so escape, escape, escape. Now we're going to see if we're running. 1, 1. So we got signal running. Manual free, minimum green, yellow, overlaps 2 and 4. So it is flashing yellow.